Hey everyone, just give me a sec. Okay, well, welcome to my show. This one I decided to do this review just for the sake of you folks. I mean, I know how some of you enjoyed my fellow American review, and of course you were surprised I can do all the presidents. After that, I decided to get back to basics, and this time I decided to do something very, very different. Reason why? Well, of course. Here's the reason why. The Wonder Woman movie hit the blockbusters. Believe it or not. Especially with this actress named Gal Gadot. I forgot her name. Anyway, this actress who played Wonder Woman, she did a pretty good job. And surprisingly, she is from Israel. And she was one of the member of the Israeli soldiers. And they're very tough. I hear a lot about the Israeli soldiers, especially the females. They're very tough that they carry their machine guns with them when they're going shopping. They can make themselves look beautiful, but also pack heat. So I think this actress, Gal Gadot, was a perfect choice to play Wonder Woman. Heck, I think I'm starting to fall for her. Too bad she's already taken. Anyway, ever since this movie hit the box office, did you know that that Wonder Woman movie was the very, 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 very first female superhero movie? It became a success. I'm not kidding. I mean, there are a lot of female TV shows that are pretty good, but trying to make a movie of a female superhero, dang lawnmower people. Anyway, when they make a movie of the female superhero, they don't do such a good job. So therefore, once again, I've got a little list. This time. For today, folks, I'm going to do the top 10 female superhero movies that are worse. Worst female superhero movies. Okay, boys, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to it. This one was made in 1990. Number 10 was made in 1995. And the female superhero who is on number 10 on my list is no longer than Tank Girl. She's just a girl, the girl you want. Oh boy. Now, I've seen Nostalgia Critic did his review of Tank Girl, and actually, to tell you the truth, my grandma and I, we've seen Tank Girl. Tell you the truth, the movie wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad at all. Although I think Lori Petty should stop making the character be more annoying. I mean, the movie is funny, the premise was interesting, even though Tank Girl was supposed to be Australian, and I don't think Lori could do an Australian accent. So she starts acting more like Harley Quinn, but more annoying. And guess who else is in this movie? Malcolm McDowell as the villain. And of course, the legendary rapper who now became a huge star on CSI, not CSI, but Law and Order Special Victims Unit, Ice-T. What's up, y'all? Snibbity diggity. And did you know that that British actress from The Ring was in this movie? And she played Jet Girl. And believe it or not, Ann Cusack was in it. You know, the younger sister of the Cusack twins. John and Joan Cusack. She played Supergirl. Definitely from the comics. The comic book would have been a little better. But the movie itself, I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's not that bad. It needs to stick more to the comics. Actually, in the movie, they always kept showing pictures from the comics. That was weird. And that's Tank Girl for you. Number 9, made in 1992, is the Vampire Slayer herself, none other than Buffy, the Vampire Slayer. Now, I know what you mean. Wait a minute, Michael. Buffy is a vampire slayer. She's not a superhero. Well, have you guys ever read the comic books? Here's a little known fact. Joss Whedon, the guy who made Firefly and the real series of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, he was the original creator of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And then when 20th Century Fox decided to make a movie based on his idea about a schoolgirl who have supernatural powers and have the ability to hunt down and kill vampires, 20th Century Fox made the movie completely stupid. Although I gotta say, Christy Swanson, who played her, she played the character exactly how 20th Century Fox imagined her to be acting like. An airhead, whatever, so what, kind of teenage girl. Very prima donna. Although I did like the movie when I was a little kid because it was hilarious, but it didn't stick to the original comics. That's why when Joss Whedon, when they discovered that they took his character and made it into a funny comedy, he left 20th Century Fox and decided to do a comic book series about her origin story, about the real Buffy. And then after that, Warner Brothers decided to make a deal with Joss Whedon to do a comic book series. To do a TV series with Sarah Michelle Gellar. One of these days I should get the DVDs of the TV series, because my grandma don't see Sarah Michelle Gellar as an action star in that show. Because all she saw Sarah Michelle Gellar in was The Grudge and those teen movies. And that's Buffy for you. Oh, this is something. Number 8. Now, I'm kind of bending the rules a bit on this one, so bear with me. Number 8 is another female superhero is no longer than Lara Croft Tomb Raider. Now, I know what you're going to say. Lara Croft wasn't a comic book superhero. Tell you the truth, true, you're right on that one. You see, Lara Croft started out as a video game character. And tell you the truth, I had quite a crush on Lara Croft ever since I played her on my first PlayStation. I enjoyed the first game, enjoyed the sequel, Last Revolution, didn't care much on the third game. And when I had my PS2, I tried out the Angel of Darkness. And when I had my PS3, I had these trilogies. With the Anniversary, and the Underworld, and the Legend. They were good. They were pretty good. I'll give them that. But I like the original. And in case for those of you who are going to ask me, no, I haven't tried the latest Tomb Raider video game. I'm thinking about it. But after I played them, I'll do a good review. I'll do a good review of the Lara Croft games. Because I'm still I still have a huge crush on Lara. Even though they kind of changed her a bit, but she still is great. But my talk is about the movie. And the movie got so popular enough, they done a sequel. But let's talk about the movies themselves. You see, during the time when Lara Croft Tomb Raider was so popular, that the video games made her so popular, that they also did a comic book series. Yeah, there were some comic books. Sadly, I don't have any of the issues. But anyway, the movie, don't get me wrong, I love Angelina Jolie. I mean, she was perfect. I mean, her playing Lara Croft was just absolutely perfect. Except she needs to work on her British accent, though. But that's all I can say about her. And of course, in the first movie, young Daniel Craig was in it before he became Bond. James Bond. But the problem about these movies is they got really dull because, well, we pretty much watched the Indiana Jones films and those Mummy movies that we didn't find these movies exciting anymore. And that's why these movies kind of bombed. But I still keep them so I can enjoy Angelina Jolie. Wow. Heck, not even Gerard Butler on the sequel didn't even make the movie good. Didn't even help. Now, what's next on my list? Oh yeah, number 7, made in 1996. This one I think I might need Dracula's help. But to tell you the name, this one's about a vampire superhero. And it's no longer than Vampirella. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Who is Vampirella? You guys never heard of Vampirella? That's why I need Dracula's help on this. Hey, Dracula! Your move! Excuse me. Oh, good evening, children. Well, since you guys want to know about Vampirella, let's get to it. You see, Vampirella was a very first vampire superhero in the comic book Legacy. And this was the first issue of Vampirella. And that was Vampirella. That's what she looks like. Her comic book started all the way back in 1969. But she ain't just an ordinary vampire superhero. No. You see, she's an alien. She is an alien vampire from the planet Draculon. I'm not kidding. That's the name of the planet right here. Draculon. Nice name. How the story goes that she is a vampire from the planet Draculon. The land was pretty peaceful. A little creepy, but still peaceful. And one thing about that planet, it doesn't have water in it. It had blood. You see, in Draculon, they have blood as lakes. So vampires can continue on when they're thirsty. When they're thirsty, drink the blood from the fountains and from the lakes. That is Draculon. Vampirella just met a group of astronauts who are actually vampire hunters. And believe it or not, their last name is Van Helsing. Every time I get so mad by the name of Van Helsing. But I need to control myself. Anyway, since they know that there are a group of evil vampires from the planet Draculon, all of a sudden starts invading Earth. So Vampirella became the only good vampire who went with the vampire hunters and went to Earth, and now she decided to destroy evil vampires who dare prey upon innocent Earthlings. And this is what she looks like back in its own company. And believe it or not, now Dynamite Entertainment, the other comic book company, still own the right, and she still looks the same. But if I want to talk more about Vampirella, I might do a complete review of Vampirella. But right now, let's get to the movie, shall we? Okay, I explained about Vampirella. Your move, Mr. Multiverse Reviewer. Why, thank you, Dracula. And there you have it. That's Vampirella for you. And believe it or not, the movie itself was created by Roger Corman himself, the B-rated director and producer. And a lot of people say he makes his movies by how much money he has in his pockets. He never spends his money on special effects or anything. He just used what he has. I said hold my calls. Anyway, believe it or not, the actress who plays Vampirella is Talisa Soto. I don't know if she's Asian or Latino or anything, but she's a perfect choice. And believe it or not, and the actor who plays the bad guy is none other than Richard Daltrey. I'm not kidding. Richard Daltrey, the head singer from The Who's. You know, that band group who always sings, "Who are you? Who, I really wanna know. Oh, come on, tell me, who are you? You, oh, yeah!" Sorry. And one thing it was really different about is her outfit. One time they went for the same look from the original comic, and here's a picture when she did try out the costume they made, where it was very similar to the comic right here. But instead, when they made the movie, they changed the outfit and go with this. Which I have to say is more decent, because every time I see somebody who dresses up as Vampirella, I don't see him as a vampire superhero. I see them as a pole stripper. Or a prostitute. And here's Richard here. And guess what character he's playing as? Dracula. They decided to go with the comic book idea that Dracula wasn't from Earth, but from the same planet where Vampirella is from. Well, my Dracula, he's from this planet. Thank goodness. Never an alien. Well, since I finally got Vampirella out of the way, number 6, made in 1984. Oh, this is a good one. Very, very good one. The number 6 on my list, made in 1984, is no longer then Sheena, Queen of the Jungle. Oh boy, how can I start from this one? You see, for those of you who don't know who Sheena is, Tarzan was the king of the jungle, right? And therefore they decided to create a character who is a female version of Tarzan, and therefore call her Sheena, Queen of the Jungle. She got popular enough that they did a... Back in the 40s, they done a serial of it. And then back in the 80s, they decided to make this movie starring Tanya Roberts. And oh boy. The only reason why they want to see this movie is because they like to see this actress naked. She's a former Bond girl and probably former playmate on Playboy. And all they want to see her is in that jungle-like outfit, even though her hair looks like ain't from the jungle. It's from, I mean, you look at her, she doesn't look like the Queen of the Jungle. She looks like a pinup. Jeez. Now, number 5, made in 1985. This one is a female barbarian, and it's none other than Red freaking Sonja. Oh boy, how do I start from this one? You see, back then when Conan the Barbarian got so popular in the comic books and in the novels, they did 2 Conan the Barbarian movies. I got a 2-disc special here, starring Put That Cookie Down, Arnold Schwarzenegger, playing Conan, which I have to say, I do enjoy these movies. But since the movie got popular enough, the comic books decided to do a female version of Conan and be like an on-again, off-again relationship. But when they made the movie, they did have Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, but they didn't call him Conan. They call him something else. But Bridget Nelson, that you can recognize right here, she's the actress who played Red Sonja. The premise of the story was, so-so. But of course, Bridget Nelson, she did act pretty good as a female barbarian warrior. But when she gets to her emotional acting, it's just not good. Not good at all. Like that one scene I saw in that movie, where she was calling for her enemy, saying, "Where are you?" She went like, "Where are you? Are you over there? Are you over there?" And that's Red Sonja. Right there, folks. Now, number 4, made in 1996. Oh, God. This one I cringe to mention. But it's none other than Barb Wire. Oh, crap. Starring Pamela Anderson. Anderson. I just really hate Pamela Anderson. Now, Barb Wire is supposed to be set in the future where there's a brand new Civil War going on, and now America has been fallen to fascism all of a sudden. And Barbarella, and Barb Wire, and Barb Wire's character, in the comics, she's a bar owner / bounty hunter. That's what she is. And they based the character out of Pamela Anderson. So when they finally decided to make the movie, sure luck, they finally had Pamela Anderson to play her. But the problem was, this movie ripped off the greatest movie ever made. And it's Casablanca. Oh, Humphrey Bogart. Ate all the gin joints in all the movies in all the world. She has to rip off of mine. And the only reason why people love to watch Barb Wire is because of Pamela's raconteur. That's it. But one thing is pretty much true to the original comics. is that every time when somebody deals with Barbarella, don't ever call her babe. She hates that. Okay, let's get to number 3, shall we? Made in 2005. This one deals with an assassin, and it's none other than Elektra. You see, ever since the Daredevil movie came out and she played Elektra in this, and after Bullseye killed her in this movie, which I had to say the movie was really bad. I don't blame Ben Affleck. I blame the movie itself. And then after the Daredevil movie, they decided to do a spin-off movie, and it's about this one. The movie was horrible. Although Jennifer Garner did a really good job, I mean, everybody remembered her from the show Alias, but after this movie, she quit starring in action films and started being more into romantic comedy and drama and such. Which I have to say, she's better off. I like her better funny than dramatic. So this is Elektra for you. Number 2. This one was made in 1984, and it's none other than Supergirl. That's right. Ever since the Superman movies got so popular with Christopher Reeve, they were planning to do like a crossover between Supergirl and Superman on Superman 4, but that idea had been dropped and she was replaced by Richard Pryor. And therefore they decided to make a Supergirl movie this time, and this is what they made as a spin-off. Now, I got nothing against the actress who played her, Helen Slater, who played her. She did a really good job playing Supergirl. I mean, I really like her, and she's really attractive, I have to say. She was perfect. But the problem was the movie itself was awful because the plot was terrible. And it's about Faye Dunaway, who grabbed this orb, this magical orb from Krypton, and now she becomes a powerful witch. But instead of taking over the world, she's trying to get Supergirl's love interest, named Ethan, to fall in love with her instead of Supergirl. Now that's dumb. And after the failure of this movie, they scrapped the whole idea of Supergirl appearing in Superman 4. Now let's get to number 1. This one was made in 2004, and I know all of you are gonna agree with me on this one. But believe it or not, it's none other than, number 1 is none other than Catwoman, starring Halle Berry. Oh, God. How do I start this? Well, little known history. Ever since Catwoman survived in the movie Batman Returns, starring Michelle Pfeiffer, they have decided to do a Catwoman movie. They decided to do like a spin-off Catwoman movie from Batman Returns starring Michelle Pfeiffer. But since that idea has been on hold for a long time, Michelle Pfeiffer dropped the project, and so did Tim Burton. And they decided to keep the thing on hold. Until when Batman Begin was made, they decided to make the movie. And they made this abomination. And what it's about, Halle Berry plays a girl named Patience who wears a face cream product. And all of a sudden she gets herself killed, a cat gave her life, and therefore she has cat-like abilities. And she's trying to stop Sharon Stone, who is the head owner of the feminine product. She wears the cream so much her skin becomes indestructible. But if women just use it once a day, it causes their skin to blister and peel and melt. this is not the Catwoman that I remember. Her name is Patience. And the one I know is Selina Kyle. And to explain to you folks about the real Selina Kyle, why not? Yeah, I got the number 0 issue of an origin story of Catwoman. I'll make it short. Her name was Selina Kyle. She was a little kid. Her mother died when she was really young. Her father was an alcoholic, and he died from alcohol poisoning. And then after that, and after he died, she'd been living on the streets since, as a little kid with all the cats. And then all of a sudden she was captured for stealing food and was into an orphanage. And the head owner of the orphanage was a little crooked. She was using the money to make her own, to buy her own diamond necklace that she bought for herself. And of course, Selina Kyle know how evil she is. The owner was trying to kill Selina by putting her in a sack, strap it up with a belt, and drop her into the ocean so she can drown. But she survived, and she finally stopped her and got all the women out of the orphanage. And after that, she grew up. And after that, she'd been living her life as a poor street urchin until she finally got herself into thievery. And she started stealing things because these rich, crooked people don't deserve these valuable things. So she steals them, make money off of them, and that's how she lives this way. And of course, she's been living her life as a dominatrix in order to get by. And ever since she saw Batman kind of inspired her to dress up as a Catwoman. And the only good thing I heard about her, she meets a girl who goes by the name of Holly, who used to be a drug addict, so she brought her into her home, made her go cold turkey, and therefore she started raising her like she was her own daughter. And that is Selina Kyle Catwoman for you. This is the real Catwoman. The heck with Holly Berry. This is the better one. I mean, if somebody wants to do a Catwoman movie, get it right. So thank God that the Wonder Woman movie became a huge success out of all these bucket of dreadful, horrible movies. And that is the top 10 list. And if you like this top 10, please leave a comment down below. Hit like and subscribe. And, why the heck not? There's something else from the Philippines I want to review. So you better stay tuned. There's going to be some more Filipino superheroes coming soon. And I heard that there's going to be doing a new Tomb Raider movie. I hope this actress, and I hope the movie turns out really good, and the actress. See you, folks. Really? Hello, I'm Lara Croft. And that multi-voice reviewer have a crush on me? I think I better call the Legion of Video Game Icons. Mario, Sonic, Master Chief, I think we might need to meet this guy. He might know a lot about video games than we ever know. Anyway, bye-bye.